Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Let's talk about 90 Day Fiancé Tell All Part 1. They were all on monitors this time because of the quarantine, so, we just saw the little boxes, kind of like a game show or something. But yeah, it was all good. Now when they start, Darcy comes in, she sits down in her little square, and she's got this long blonde wig. And you remember from the quarantine show, her hair is worse than mine, okay? That's saying something. But she looks really good in this wig, real elegant. And Tom is in his little square, and he's, "Hi, Darcy, how are you doing?" And there's no response. She doesn't even look. "Can you hear me?" I think she could hear him just fine. I think she was just totally ignoring him. And I don't blame her a bit, okay? So the first couple they start in on is Avery and Ash. Now, if you notice, these two talk like they are reading from a Psychology 101 textbook. Both of them do. Both of them. They're always, well, I'm trying to navigate this relationship, or I must be mindful of your feelings before I speak. Very, very fake, very fake. And you know what I'm thinking? This being mindful of your feelings, this little prelude to the answer is a stall tactic so he can come up with a good answer that she'll want to hear. I'll say these words while my mind is really trying to figure out what I'm going to say. But basically she said she wanted a break to navigate feelings. She accuses him of lying to her face, which he has said a few things that don't add up, like, wanting to bring his son over here, that the ex-wife was fine with it, and then she meets with the ex-wife, and the ex-wife really isn't that crazy about it, and who would be? Who would be? You don't want your 10-year-old child going halfway across the world to be with strangers that you don't know. But anyway, the last blowout, and she admitted her feelings were fading by the time she came home, but she had gotten on some kind of diet, and he said he would be her support. Well, to me, if you're supporting someone on a diet, you cheer them on. You're like, "Hey, you're doing a great job, keep it up." You don't say you're going to do it with them. And maybe he was confused on that. I don't know. But he cheated on this diet. So that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. After they ramble on a few more paragraphs out of the Psych 101 book, they decide that it's probably not going to work out. So then we had Ed and Rose. Now Ed shamed Rose the whole season. Every show, he embarrassed her. He brought out some other personal thing that he would not have had to do. And the straw that broke the camel's back was when he said he didn't want to have more children. And Rose, being young, of course, she wanted a family. And she really let him have it. I mean, the blow up on that last meeting they had, everybody was cheering for Rose. They were. She just let him have it, okay? So, for the tell-all, she requests a translator because she's very, very, very angry. And to get her point across, because she's going to be talking a lot in Tagalog. Yeah, I said it right. Woo. Come on, English is her second language, and it's hard to word everything the way you want to say it. It's much easier for her to cuss somebody out in her own language and then just have it translated. So, they agree that they spoke last on Valentine's Day. Ed says she reached out to him, and she says he reached out to her. So right there's an argument, because we don't know who started talking to who first, although I do believe Rose. And he said, he gave up everything to go there. He gave up his daughter, who he's repairing his relationship with now. And, he loved Rose so much. He was just going to, he wanted to be with her no matter what. Everything else was second. And he would do it all again. He was ready to go back again, except he saw on her social media that she had a girlfriend. So they ask her about that. And she says, "Not now. I did, but not now." So apparently it was a rebound thing. You know, she was probably so burned out on men after Ed that she decided maybe she'll try the other way because men wasn't working out for her. So Ed's daughter comes into the conversation and she has been backstage listening. And she hears her dad, who, you know, they they were strained, kind of got their relationship back on track, and she hears him say, hey, yeah, he will leave again. You know, he'll kick her to the curb. And, you know, this poor girl starts crying. And I don't know if she has even watched the show. She was still trying to defend Ed, even though, you know, I think he really hurt her deeply by saying those things. And, you know, she wants to see him happy, but she is worried because of the fact, the age difference, and they have nothing in common. Good point. So now he starts backpedaling, you know, because his daughter heard this. He comes up with typical male answer. Typical. Oh, I'm an idiot. I wasn't thinking. I'm stupid. I don't know how to word things. We know all of this. We know you're an idiot, Ed, okay? You don't have to tell us. We know. And Tiffany starts having an attitude with Rose. Now, I don't know why. Because Rose, you know, admitted to her that she did really love Ed. It was the things that he did to her on camera, and, you know, and how he embarrassed her about shaving her legs and her breath and all these things, acting like he was so superior, you know. So Rose then accuses him of wanting her to do a sex video call, and he says, we're going there. So obviously he knows where there is. And she says he told her to get naked and he would pay her. So, you know, after this, and of course he's denying all this. Now, we all know he has had his own issues on social media, talking to really young girls and being kind of inappropriate. So, would we really be surprised if it were true? Because I think it probably is true. And everybody kind of lays into him, you know. Darcy says, you know, you treated her badly. You know, Rose is the queen. And Rose honestly just wants nothing more to do with him because he's hurt her that badly. So then we go to Yolanda, the first of our catfish. Now, Yolanda said they met on social media. He started messaging her on her DMs, and he was very handsome. At least the picture he sent was a very handsome man. Now, her daughter, Kara, who had tried to tell her the whole season that this guy is a catfish, and hired Scott Hunter, who is a private investigator. He comes into the conversation, and he says, you know, they didn't have red flags, they had red banners. You know, there's no way this was real. What they found out was, you know, the social media had ties to Nigerian accounts. So, of course, Usman pops up, and, well, those are not Nigerians, you know. My tribe doesn't do those things, and the other two, they don't do these things. So they play the small clip of his voice that we heard when she was trying to find out what airport she needed to go to visit. And we listened to that clip, and, you know, they say, well, Yolanda, does he still sound British? And she's, no, he kind of sounds like Usman. So then they try to, you know, get her to call. And everybody's giving Usman a hard time. Well, your phone's going to start ringing any minute, you know. But Lisa tells her about Yahoo Boys, because Lisa gets about 300 of these a year. They just hit women, and they think they have money, and, you know, they try to get them, they try to scam them. And finally, at the end of that, Yolanda admits she still loves him, but she knows he's scamming her. So, then we go to Steph and Erica. Stephanie and Erica, the first same-sex couple that 90 Day has ever had. And Stephanie says that Erica's friends are going to be at the tell-all. You know, they're going to She doesn't say anything about her friends being there, though. So they start, and Erica has this one friend, one box, and she is a really nice girl. She's very polite, very personable. She says, I think their problem, they were just two very different people, and, they just couldn't work it out. Well, Stephanie's friends show up. A guy, I think Sanders was his name, and a girl, and I don't know what her name is. She's Italian, we know that. And she was drunk off her butt, drinking wine like crazy, yelling at everybody. Very rude, It really, if her family and their friends in Australia were watching this, they were thinking, stay away from Americans, they're all nuts. So they start giving her, a hard time about being gay. Stephanie said she's hurt by all these posts saying she's not gay. And, what the one girl says, why didn't Erica research her disease before she came over? And Erica says, well, I did, but I don't really know much about this. Isn't there like different degrees of it? Or, some are more severe than others. So, she was hoping for the best. Stephanie was traveling, so she hoped that she had it under control. But is it her place to research? Stephanie should just tell her what it is. And they go through, a lot of the clips that were their problems, in the past. And one thing Stephanie was upset about, that Erica had an app on her phone that was more like a dating app or something along that line. And Erica says, well, I use that for networking for my business, And Stephanie has apps on hers, too, where, she has strangers messaging her. And Erica brings that up, so your apps on your phone, they're used for networking and business. And Erica's like, or Stephanie was like, well, yeah, but, yeah. And she realized then she got caught. She got tripped up. She's, do as I say, but not as I do, So she kind of got caught there. Anyway, they don't think that they can even salvage a friendship out of this. And, it's kind of too bad, but Erica definitely will be better off, because she's, just so bubbly and sweet, and I don't see her having any kind of problems meeting people. So last, our veterans, Tom and Darcy. She's been acting pretty cold, and I honestly don't blame her. Stacy joins them and her friend Raina. And they say, Tom he texted her on her birthday, and that's all she got. She didn't get a card, flowers, even a video chat, nothing. He says, well, the internet was acting up. He didn't have Wi-Fi where he was at. And Stacy's like, well, wasn't that the same week as the fashion thing in Milan, Fashion Week? And so it comes out that Tom went to Fashion Week and he met someone. So now he isn't sure who to pick, Stacy, who, they're having issues, and, or this new girl, Shannon. So, of course, Stacy gets the pictures and sends them on to Darcy of him with the Shannon. And so when they meet in New York, he brings up her weight gain, among other things, tells her, he'll have a happy life now that she's not in it, and so on. That's not how you make up with someone. But, now she shows off her revenge body. She lost a bunch of weight, looks great. And the Shannon did not want to appear, but she sent a note. She says that Tom said he was single when they met. That he was single, and, Darcy had another man. She had moved on. It didn't work out for them after, maybe a month. But she wishes both of them the very best. So it gets kind of short here because Avery made a comment, and I didn't catch her comment. But Tom just, I will not talk if she's here. So Sean Robinson is like, what do you mean? Who? He says, Avery. And she says, you have a problem with Avery? And he's like, yes. So she goes to Avery, and do you know what the issue is? And Avery's like, oh, yeah. So we don't know what the issue is, and I think we will probably find out. But Tom vacates the area. He's gone. I think Darcy will be better off without him. He just needs to go somewhere else. Just crawl under a rock and stay away. We're sick of you, Tom. Don't come back. Thank you. So, if you like my recap, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We will do part 2 probably tomorrow. So, thank you guys. Have a good night.